Hello all you hardcores out there, how are you doing? It's Russ here from Porky's Corner. Biggest gob in sport. Well, what do we think to that DAZN show last night? What do you think to that? I think Dalton Smith's overrated. I think he's good, but I think people have been getting away with him as this roadman killer. I don't think he'll be queuing up to get him with Adam Azim, will he? Because he's had the big gold, Olympic gold build up, hasn't he, even though he ain't got a gold. I don't know. Groves and De Gale fought, didn't they? So we're going to see, aren't we? I'm drinking out my Liverpool cup now. Now we've had 2 wins on bounce. We're better than Sex beating Everton. Evening, Tony Bellew. Let's have a look at what I've jotted down here. Let's have a little look. Let's have a look. Lee Wood's performance. I thought it was a bit cagey. I mean, I'm hearing people on radio and pundits and that going, oh, he was schooling him, he were up in rounds. Look, we just completed 6 rounds, yeah, in a 12-round fight. We've got into the second half of the fight, and Lee Wood's team have thrown towel in and he's been knocked out. That's the bottom line. If Man United are 1-0 down after 50 minutes, 5 minutes into the second half, if Man United are 1-0 down, does that mean that even if they get beat, they'll get a replay if it's a cup semi-final? Hey, no, it doesn't, does it? It's a 36-minute fight. 36-minute fight, 12 rounds. Same as a football match is 90 minutes. Well, it's not over after 50 minutes, is it? And boxing isn't over after 6 rounds. Wally Wood winning fight, yeah, I had him a round up after 6 rounds, but he wasn't doing anything. He was containing the guy. Let's separate emotions and going into bat for your mate or biasness, right? Carl Frotcher's a mate of mine. He's from Gedling, isn't he? Lee Wood's from Gedling. He's going to go into bat for his guy, isn't he? He might have been nicking the fight. He might have been a round up. But he weren't doing a lot, were he? He was containing Lara. He was doing enough to keep him off him. That's my opinion. I might be wrong, but that's my opinion. So I think people were getting carried away by Lee Wood were winning and he was controlling the fight. He commanded centre of the ring, which is what he were doing. And they were keeping him at range. He weren't mauling him. Right? He weren't bashing him up, were he? He weren't a Carl Froch booty, where he were bashing him. He were containing him. There's a difference. There's a difference. Anthony Yard tried to contain Beta Beef, didn't he? And what happened when he put it into turbo boost? You saw, didn't you? Lee Wood's 35 next birthday. That's old for a featherweight, old. Lee Wood knows it, Carl Froch knows it, and all people in boxing industry know it. That's old. They've done well to get him where they've got him. He's overachieved. Ben Davidson's done really well. I'm not going to hammer Ben Davidson's stoppage because Lee Wood said his legs are gone, but I'm not so sure. Maybe he's trying to save his trainer there. I don't know. Maybe he might have been talked into it. We don't know, do we? But I've seen a lot worse carry on. So, do we applaud him for throwing towel in? Well, they had a rematch clause, didn't they? So they've got another bite at cherry, haven't they, really? So, I don't know. Did Tyson Fury have a rematch clause with Wilder? So they didn't really go for it in first fight, did they? I don't know. Is Ben Davidson making his fighters gun shy? I don't know. I'm not sure. Is he taking away the fundamentals of what's making them fighters great? I don't know. Who am I to have a go at Ben Davison. I'm not a trainer. I'm just a YouTuber, aren't I? That's it. I'm just somebody with an opinion. Laid on bed with a purple dressing gown on, looking a complete weapon. In fact, it's the same colour as weapon. I should bring back weapon at weeks for myself, shouldn't I? So I don't know what next for Lee Wood, but you wouldn't like to think you were going to go near Lara again, would you? Why not let Warrington fight Lara and let them both get miles on clock, and Lee would get them down the line when they're a bit older and been a bit more knocked about. I don't know. We'll see, won't we? But Lara's 24. He's got a decade on Lee Wood, hasn't he? So he's going to be about, isn't he? Who would I class Lara like? Well, he's a bit crude, isn't he? Really. So you'd have to think of a crude fight, wouldn't you? I don't know, Wilder. He's a bit crude, isn't he? Arthur Abraham. He's crude, isn't he? Marcus Maidana. He's crude. You'd put him in that league, wouldn't you? I would. People keep looking at Lara's percentage KOA. He's only 65% or whatever. It's not high. It don't matter. He's knocking them out at this level, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? He's icing people at top level, so we'll see, won't we? Personally, I think Lee Wood could have carried on, but safety's paramount, so I think Ben Davidson's in a situation where he'd have been damned if he did and damned if he didn't. So it's better to be safe than sorry, but is his training methods safety first? Maybe. I don't see these guys lighting anybody up. There's a lot of safety first, but you've got to try and contain Lara, haven't you, really? So I don't know, maybe they were trying to contain him and get him down the line late on, you know, in championship rounds. We don't know, so I won't be too harsh on boxer size Ben. I won't be too harsh, but he's made a rod for his own back because he's built himself up into this super trainer. He's not just an ordinary trainer. He's not just anybody that's ordinary called Ben. He is superhuman Ben. Well, that's what he's built himself up into, hasn't he, this superhuman trainer? Oh, you've just seen it over there, haven't you? Trainers can't fight for the boxers, can they? Do you know what I mean? So, does he go for Warrington next? Lara? I hope so. Because Eddie Hearn don't care for Lee Wood, does he? People keep saying, oh, respect to Lee Wood, and I was one of them that jumped on bandwagon. Respect for taking that Lara fight. Listen, Eddie Hearn sat down at home, and nobody's mentioned this because they all want access. So I'm going to tell you straight. Eddie Hearn sat down at home, and I've had a chat with people about this, many people, and he's looked at Lee Wood against Conlon, and he's thought, a small guy coming up, we're knocking Lee Wood about. Am I right? Gavin McDonnell put him on planet Jupiter. That was 9 years ago, am I right? So what's changed in that? In that 9 year period from Lee Wood getting put on moon by Gavin McDonnell, what's changed in that 9 year? Well, he's had miles on clock. He's gone from age 25 to 34, and he's in with Lara, a proper puncher, who Gavin McDonnell won't be able to get near. So that's why I said Conlon dropped him. Gavin McDonnell, a non-puncher, were dropping him 9 years ago. Lara knocks him out. That's what I said. Eddie Hearn saying Lee Wood needs respect for taking fight. Eddie Hearn knows boxing. He knows that Lee Wood, we're going to get iced. But he got a 2-fight deal, like accountants do. He got him a 2-fight deal, and do we need to see the second one after he's just been put on planet orbit? We don't need to see that second one, do we? Will they enforce it? Probably. Probably, because that's what how boxing is, isn't it? Eddie's not his mate. Lee Wood don't go to Eddie's for Sunday dinner. They're not mates. It's business. Lee Wood's come to end of his sell-by date. He got knocked about by Conlon. He got out of prison. Eddie's fought 2 fights here with Lara. If he gets flogged in Nottingham, we'll go another fight. We'll get too hard at job. That's just how it works. That's just how it works. They'll try and sell you Lara rematch as Lee Wood were winning the fight and Lara got a lucky punch, but no. We know what we saw. Lee Wood, yeah, deserves credit for taking the fight, but he had nowhere else to go. Where was he going to go? Where was Eddie going to get money for him? He's got a world title. What are they going to do? Put him in with stiffs? He had to take that fight. He was backed into a corner. And he looks like he's past his sell-by date now. He's on bandy legs every time he gets hit. No disrespect against him or that dodgy perm he's got. He's done well. He's overachieved. Overachieved. But let's have it right. He had nowhere else to go. He's got a world title fight. What are you going to swerve people? He had to fight Lara. He got a 2-fight deal with Lara. Good luck, he'll get paid again. But personally, I'd hold back on that fight. But then again, when you hold back, you never get your opportunity, do you? So that's how I look at it. All that about home crowd weighing him on and all that. The home crowd helped him against Conlan, but they weren't going to help him last night, were they? Let's talk Turkey. Let's not talk English. Let's talk Turkey, right? He was outclassed and he got prompt moon. My prediction. So I'm not rubbing his nose in cow palmer. Lee Wood needs respect, but what did you see from Lee Wood that suggested that he was going to beat Lara? There was nothing, were there? Nothing. So Lee Wood's miles on clock, hasn't he? He's got miles on clock. So I mean, Lee Wood's not like Anthony Joshua, is he, or Conor Benn? They were protected. Anthony Joshua protected, wasn't he, from Luis Ortiz? He's not been near Wilder. He's not been near Fury, Ergovic. Any of them, has he? Conor Benn's not been near David Evanishin, has he? Echo and the Bunnyman. What's that other one? Michael McKinson. He's not been near any of them. Porky's Corner is proud to be sponsored by Spartan Site Solutions. They are specialists in civil engineering and demolition contracts for the construction industry. Interested parties should visit their website or contact Porky's Corner for a referral at porkycorner@mail.com.